If your business is making between $100,000 and $1 million, but your revenue still feels like a roller coaster, one huge month followed by total silence, I have been there. And I do have some tough news though. Working harder isn't going to fix it. And that inconsistency isn't a marketing problem, it's a structural one. So today I'm going to show you how to stop chasing income and start designing a system that makes it more predictable. Hey, if you don't know me, I am Tanisha Molden. I am an IP attorney, intellectual property attorney, and brand strategist. I work with growth stage founders and help them move past the hustle phase into the ownership phase. So how do we do this? We do that by aligning 3 specific pillars to help them. We work on your offer, your positioning, and your brand, all towards the goal of ownership. Here's the thing. Most people blame marketing when sales slow down. But usually the problem is, I would say, a loose offer. If your pricing changes per client or your scope shifts, whether by yourself or because of scope creep, if you don't know what that is, ask me in the comments. If your scope shifts every time you sign a contract, you aren't running a business. You might be running an errand. This is what predictable revenue requires. Pricing that actually matches your actual value. Some structured pathways for how a client moves from hello to expanded and delight, what some people may call your client journey. When the offer is together or tight, the sales process becomes steady. And I know saying the word sales might creep you out, or if it does make you get the itchies, it's time to get over it. And how do you get over that? You get a process in place. Our pillar 2 is strengthening positioning. So positioning is the silent leverage. It really does determine how far your marketing has to work. If you find yourself constantly explaining your value or worse, negotiating your price, your positioning is weak. Let's get beyond that. When I put on my legal hat, what I found is strong positioning reduces friction. When people know exactly who you serve and why you are distinct, the sales cycle really does shrink, and it helps people understand how to engage with you. What's the number one thing? And I know this is probably the hardest thing, is consistency. Consistency in your message really does create consistency in your bank account. I think I just thought of that. Consistency in your message creates consistency in your bank account. When things click, I like to repeat them, even for myself. So finally, we have to talk about brand, which is probably my favorite thing to talk about. Brand. And no, I don't mean your logo or, the logo, all the graphics and the visual elements are important. But what I'm talking about is your perception, the perception of your credibility. When I look at your visibility, I look at how your visibility and your proof reinforce each other. Through my strategic lens, I think one of my superpowers is I literally put on, my imaginary legal lens or my imaginary strategic lens. And what I look at is how your visibility and your proof reinforce each other. If trust has to be rebuilt from scratch every single month, that's got to be exhausting. But it's also exhausting on your bank account, your revenue. Your revenue will always depend on your personal efforts. We're really trying to get past that. A strong brand creates leverage. So your reputation does the heavy lifting before you can even get on a call. What's the biggest mistake I see? Founders try to scale before they were fine. They pour money into maybe ads before they really tighten up their offer. Here's what I want you to get. Builders chase income. Owners design systems that make income predictable. If your revenue has felt inconsistent, don't default to more activity. Look at alignment. Where is the gap right now? Is it in the offer, the positioning, or your brand authority? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you're ready to build a brand you can actually own and control, feel free to connect with me. Also, check the link in the description if you want to learn more. I did provide a free guide on how to protect your brand.